Has happened for the second time. The second insult in less than a fortnight. Jeev Milkha Singh's coach Amritinder Singh has been insulted at the Milan airport again, asked to remove his turban. This despite a formal complaint that had been lodged by the Ministry of External Affairs the last time around. We have Shona Singh, wife of Amritinder Singh, who's joining us on the phone line. Mrs. Singh, have you spoken to your husband? Has he described to you how he's been humiliated the second time around?
Yes, he just called me the minute he got onto the airplane, and he told me that, the same security official asked him to remove his turban a second time, and he told him, that your European Union rules state that, you can pat my turban down, but you cannot ask me to remove it. So the man told him, he says, I don't care, that doesn't help me. I need you to remove your turban if you need to get on the flight. So he had to take it off a second time, and while he was talking to them, he says about 10 police officials came and stood around him, and he had to take his turban off again.
This is absolutely shocking, Mr. Singh. Is this the same airport that it had happened at the last time around?
Yes, it's the same airport, and surprisingly, it was the same security official who told him, and he told him, he says, I have a letter of apology from the Italian Golf Federation that what happened the last time was wrong. So he told him, he says, I'm sorry, that doesn't help me. I really don't care, but I need you to take off your turban right now. And he was made to take off his turban.
This is absolutely shocking. You're telling us that not only was it the same airport, it happened to be the same security officer who had removed Mr. Singh's turban the last time around, despite having shown him all the documents, the apology from the Golfing Association in Italy. It seems that the security person was intent on having Mr. Amritinder Singh go through this humiliation.
Yes, it does. And they were told again that, look, we are sports people. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Ms. Singh. We can hear you.
Yeah, and, they were told again that, look, we are sports people, we travel, and he showed him the letter of apology. He told him that, look, I still think what you're doing is wrong. Look what happened the last time. And the man told him, he says, yes, I know what happened last time, but, I just need you to take off your turban. So it's totally a case of, the person not even wanting to listen to what was being said to him, or even communicating with the person who he was harassing, basically.
Mrs. Singh, was Mr. Amritinder Singh traveling alone, or was he accompanied by somebody?
He's traveling with Jeev Milkha Singh. He's coaching Jeev Milkha Singh. They're currently on their way to Spain for the Andalusia Open in Spain, which will start on Thursday. So they were in Milan last week for a tournament, and they were leaving. They were in Sicily for a tournament, and they were leaving Milan to go to Spain. And this is the incident. That's how the incident happened at the same airport and with the same person again.
Would we be able to contact him at this point, or is he on the flight already?
He's already on the flight. He called me the minute he got onto the flight. So I guess, you would probably be able to contact him in about an hour's time once the flight lands.
We can imagine your indignation and anger at this insult that has been meted out to Mr. Amritinder Singh the second time around in less than a fortnight. If for viewers at this point, because we're trying to get this message across to the Ministry of External Affairs as well. The last time around, if you remember, protest had been lodged with the Italian government, and they had come out with an apology. If you could tell us what exactly Mr. Amritinder Singh told you about what happened at the airport.
Well, he said that, when he went to check in, he and Jeev were quite shocked actually when they called this evening, because, they just told me, they said, can you believe that we had to go through the same thing a second time around? And they checked into the airport, and the official came up to him and told him that I need you to remove your turban. So he told him, he says, look, this is the same thing that happened the last time around, and I have this letter of apology. Everybody agrees that what happened the last time around was totally wrong. I am a sports person. Look at my passport. I've been traveling for the last 30 years. And, you're just asking me to do this unnecessarily. So he says, no, I need you to remove your turban. So then he told him, he says, but your own law states that you can pat my turban down, but you cannot ask me to remove it. So he says, well, that doesn't help me because I need to see what's inside. And while he was standing there, he says, I was sitting on the table, and as I was talking to him, I looked around and I was surrounded by over 10 policemen. And he says, I just had no option, but I had to remove my turban a second time around.
This is absolutely shocking. Mrs. Singh, have you had a chance to speak to your father-in-law? Because the last time around, he had also come out and said how this was honestly, an insult on the Sikhs and dishonoring six by the way the airport authorities at the Italian airport had behaved. And clearly it seems this is not about ignorance. It seems to be more about arrogance.
Yes, it is totally about arrogance. It is about one man, not wanting to follow any rules just because he probably has some personal agenda, or, we don't really know. I'm only speculating. But my father-in-law is very upset because, he's been a professional golfer. He's brought up my husband to be a, upright Sikh, and they travel as sportsmen. They consider themselves to be ambassadors of this country. They try to behave well in public so that they put out a right example to people. So, it's sad when things like this happen, because it just makes you realize that just because you're different, you're being targeted.